You, yes, you, the one whose eyes are fixed upon these words at this very moment. I implore you to take a deep breath and open not just your eyes, but your heart and soul to the message I'm about to share. For in these words lies a truth so profound, so transformative, that it has the power to reshape your entire perspective on life's trials and tribulations. You're facing challenges right now, aren't you? Perhaps you feel overwhelmed, burdened by a weight so heavy it threatens to crush your spirit. Maybe you're grappling with loss, with pain so deep it feels like a chasm in your very being. Or perhaps you're standing at the foot of a mountain so insurmountable you can scarcely imagine taking the first step. I see you. I understand. And I'm here to tell you something that may change everything. This isn't the end of your story. It's the crucible in which your true strength is being forged. You've likely heard the platitude, God never gives you more than you can handle. But let's be honest. Right now, it feels like you've been handed a burden far beyond your capacity to bear, doesn't it? You're gasping for air, desperately trying to keep your head above the tumultuous waters of life. So allow me to reframe this for you. God entrusts his most formidable battles to his strongest soldiers. And you, my friend, whether you realize it or not, are one of those elite spiritual warriors. Now you might be shaking your head thinking, no, you don't understand. I'm not strong. I'm barely holding it together. But that's where you're mistaken. The very fact that you're here, seeking understanding, searching for hope, that is strength. You haven't surrendered. You're still in the fight. And that, dear mystics and chosen, marks you as one of the strong ones in God's grand army. Let's delve deeper into this concept of strength. When you envision someone strong, what image comes to mind? Is it a bodybuilder hoisting massive weights? While that's certainly one form of strength, it's not the kind that truly matters in the spiritual realm. The strength that God values, the kind he cultivates in his chosen warriors, isn't about physical prowess. It's about perseverance in the face of adversity. It's about rising after every fall, no matter how many times you've been knocked down. It's about confronting your fears, your doubts, your pain, and declaring with unwavering resolve, "You will not defeat me." The Bible speaks eloquently about this kind of strength. In the book of James, chapter 1, verses 2-4, we find these words of wisdom. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Reflect on that for a moment. Your trials, your struggles, they're not punishments. They're not signs of God's absence. They're the very tools he's using to sculpt you into a mature, complete, spiritual being. Think about the individuals throughout history who have left an indelible mark on the world. The great leaders, the innovators, the game changers. Do you imagine their paths were strewn with roses? Far from it. Martin Luther King Jr. faced death threats and imprisonment in his fight for equality. Nelson Mandela endured 27 years of incarceration before emerging to lead his nation towards reconciliation. Mother Teresa worked tirelessly in the slums of Calcutta, surrounded by poverty and disease. These weren't easy roads, but it was precisely these trials that forged them into the inspirational figures we revere today. Now, I'm not suggesting you need to change the entire world, but I am saying that the challenges you're facing right now are shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than you ever dreamed possible. You are being refined in the furnace of adversity, just as gold is purified by fire. Let's get personal for a moment. I want you to cast your mind back to the most difficult experience you've faced before your current struggle. Remember the emotions that coursed through you, the fear, the uncertainty, the pain. But you emerged from that trial, didn't you? You survived, and I'd wager that if you reflect deeply, you can identify ways that experience strengthened you. Perhaps you developed new skills. Maybe you discovered reservoirs of inner strength you never knew existed. Perhaps you learned who your true friends were. Or maybe you learned the invaluable lesson of standing on your own 2 feet. That same process is unfolding now. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's challenging beyond measure. But you are being forged in the fire, shaped by the hammer of adversity into something stronger, something better. As we read in Proverbs 17:3, the crucible for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the heart. You're in that crucible right now, being refined into something precious beyond compare. There's a beautiful Japanese art form called kintsugi that serves as a powerful metaphor for this process. When a piece of pottery breaks, instead of discarding it or trying to hide the cracks, artisans repair it with gold. The result is a piece more beautiful, more valuable than it was before. That's you, right now. You might feel broken, shattered even, but you're in the process of being repaired with gold. Your scars, your struggles, they're not ugly marks of failure. They're golden lines of strength and resilience, testaments to your ability to overcome. Now let's delve deeper into the concept of faith, for it is the bedrock upon which all spiritual strength is built. Whether you're deeply religious or just beginning to explore spirituality, faith is crucial in times like these. Faith in yourself, faith in the process, faith that this too shall pass. Remember the story of Job in the Old Testament? Here was a man who lost everything, his wealth, his health, even his family. But through it all, he never lost his faith. And in the end, he was rewarded tenfold, not just with material blessings, but with a strength of character and a depth of wisdom that could only come through trials. You, yes, you watching this right now, mystics and chosen, you are Job. Your trials might look different, but the principle remains the same. You're being tested, not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to handle it. As it's written in 1 Peter 1:7, these trials will show that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold. So when your faith remains strong through many trials, it will bring you much praise and glory and honor on the day when Jesus Christ is revealed to the whole world. I want you to do something for me right now. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Feel the air filling your lungs. Now as you exhale, I want you to say these words aloud. I am strong. I am resilient. I will overcome. Say it again. Mean it. Because it's true. As Philippians 4:13 reminds us, I can do all things through Christ, who strengthens me. Every obstacle you face is like a weight added to your spiritual barbell. It might feel heavy now. It might make you struggle. But with each rep, you're growing stronger. You're developing resilience, patience, and wisdom that you never knew you possessed. Romans 5:3 expresses this beautifully. We can rejoice too when we run into problems and trials, for we know that they help us develop endurance. And endurance develops strength of character, and character strengthens our confident hope of salvation. And this hope will not lead to disappointment. So the next time you face a challenge that seems insurmountable, I want you to remember this moment. Remember that you were chosen for this battle because you have the strength to emerge victorious. You might not feel strong right now, but strength isn't about feeling. It's about persevering, even when you don't believe you can take another step. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. Prepared for a level of joy, success, and fulfillment that can only come to those who have walked through the fire and emerged stronger on the other side. As Isaiah 43:2 promises, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. Now let's explore the various ways in which God tests and forges his soldiers. For in understanding these trials, we can better appreciate their purpose and find the strength to endure them. First, there is the test of faith. Picture a devout believer, their heart brimming with unwavering trust in the divine plan. Now watch as God systematically strips away every comfort, every certainty, job losses, illness, the heart-wrenching departure of loved ones, each blow designed to shake the very foundations of belief. Why, you ask? Because true faith isn't born in the light of blessings, but in the darkness of despair. God knows that a soldier who can cling to faith when the world crumbles around them is a force to be reckoned with in his army. Next comes the trial of integrity. In a world awash with temptation, where the line between right and wrong blurs like a mirage in the desert, God places his soldiers in impossible situations. A starving family and an opportunity for theft. A chance for advancement at the cost of another's downfall. Each scenario a carefully crafted test. For what use is a soldier who cannot be trusted? God seeks those who will stand firm in their principles, even when the cost is everything they hold dear. Then there is the gauntlet of perseverance. Here God takes a page from the book of Sisyphus, setting before his soldiers tasks that seem endless, goals that appear unreachable. Day after day, year after year, they toil with no end in sight. Lesser souls would crumble, but God's warriors, they find strength in the struggle itself. For God knows that true victory often lies not in reaching the destination, but in refusing to stop marching forward. And let us not forget the crucible of love. Oh, how easy it is to love those who love us in return. But God's soldiers face a higher calling. They are thrust into situations where they must love the unlovable, forgive the unforgivable. The soldier who can look upon their enemy with compassion, who can turn the other cheek not out of weakness but out of an overflow of divine love. This is the warrior that makes the heavens themselves stand in awe. Perhaps the most insidious test of all is that of humility. Success, power, adoration. God bestows these gifts upon his chosen ones, not as rewards, but as weights, to see if they will sink or swim. For what good is a soldier who forgets who truly commands the army? Those who can stand at the pinnacle of worldly success and still kneel in humble servitude. These are the generals in God's grand campaign. But why, you may ask, does the Almighty subject his most loyal to such torment? Is he a cruel taskmaster, delighting in the suffering of his creation? No, dear mystics and chosen. God is the ultimate strategist, the divine drill sergeant, molding raw recruits into elite spiritual commandos. For in this great war, this cosmic conflict that rages unseen around us, God needs soldiers who are unbreakable, warriors whose faith is not a fair-weather friend, but a battle-hardened companion, fighters who have stared into the abyss of doubt and emerged with conviction burning brighter than ever. These trials forge links in a chain of spiritual evolution. Each test survived, each challenge overcome, adds another layer of divine armor. It's a process of spiritual alchemy, turning the lead of human frailty into the gold of unwavering faith. And make no mistake, this is not a path for the faint of heart. Many are called, but few have the courage to endure. For every soldier who emerges victorious, countless others fall by the wayside, their faith shattered, their spirits broken. But for those who persevere, for those rare souls who embrace each trial as an opportunity for growth, the rewards are beyond mortal comprehension. They become living testimonies to the transformative power of faith. Their very existence becomes a beacon of hope in a world shrouded in darkness. So, to those of you listening who feel beset on all sides by trials and tribulations, take heart. Perhaps you are not being punished. Perhaps you are being prepared. Each hardship you face, each moment of doubt you overcome, is another rep in God's cosmic gym, building spiritual muscles you never knew you had. Remember, in the divine obstacle course of life, it's not about avoiding the challenges. It's about facing them head-on, with the unshakable conviction that each trial brings you one step closer to becoming the spiritual warrior God knows you can be. Now let's address the elephant in the room: doubt. It's okay to have doubts. It's natural to question why you're going through such difficult times. Even Jesus, in his moment of greatest trial, cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Matthew 27:46. But remember, that wasn't the end of the story. After the crucifixion came the resurrection. After the darkness came the light. Your doubts don't negate your faith. They're part of the journey. Embrace them, wrestle with them, but don't let them paralyze you. As the Father in Mark 9:24 cried out, "I do believe, help me overcome my unbelief." It's okay to believe and still have questions. It's okay to have faith and still struggle. That's what makes your faith real and authentic. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a powerful image. Picture yourself as a tree. The winds of adversity may bend you, the storms of life may threaten to uproot you, but with each challenge your roots grow deeper, your trunk grows stronger, you become more resilient, more unshakable. As Jeremiah 17:7-8 beautifully puts it, "But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit." That's you, planted by the water, drawing strength from a source deeper than your circumstances. No matter what comes your way, you have what it takes to not just survive, but to thrive. So stand tall, brave soldier. Your trials are not your weakness. They are proof of your strength. And with each obstacle you overcome, you're one step closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. As it says in James 1:12, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." You've got this. I believe in you. Now it's time for you to believe in yourself. Remember, you are stronger than you know, more resilient than you realize, and more loved than you can imagine. As you face each new day, each new challenge, carry these words from Isaiah 41:10 in your heart. "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Go forth with courage, with faith, and with the unshakable knowledge that you are built for this. Your trials don't define you. How you respond to them does. And I know, without a shadow of a doubt, that you will rise, you will overcome, and you will emerge from this stronger, wiser, and more magnificent than ever before. For in the end, when the dust settles and the final trumpet sounds, it won't be the easy lives that God celebrates. It will be the scarred ones, the tested ones, the ones who walked through fire and emerged purified. These are God's true soldiers, forged in the flames of adversity, tempered by the waters of faith, and ready to stand victorious in the light of divine glory. You are God's strongest soldier. Now go out there and show the world what you're made of. Embrace your trials. Welcome your challenges. For in the grand tapestry of God's plan, your struggles are not your weakness. They are your strength, your testimony, and ultimately, your triumph.